riding around Sonoma County with me was all of a sudden I'd pull over and go, look at that. That's just gorgeous. This is God's country. And part of that is because Sonoma County was way ahead of things. And one of the things is to preserve farming and agriculture. One of the gorgeous places that are fifth generation, and that doesn't happen by accident. The way they take care of the land and keep it that beautiful, and still be able to survive. And they talk about sustainability. What is sustainability? Is probably being in business for 5 generations. That to me is sustainable agriculture.
Ever since I was a young girl, my best childhood memories all involve being on this ranch in one way or the other, whether it's, feeding my little baby bummer calves or feeding the big cows with my dad, fixing fence, all treating sick animals. And I've come to realize as I've gotten older that I wouldn't be the person who I am today if it wasn't for this strong agricultural background that kind of molded me and shaped me into the person that I am today with my passions and my love of agriculture and really where I want to pursue my studies. What really drives me to be a part of the agricultural industry is just the love and passion that has really been handed down to me from my father and my grandmother and my grandfather and all my past generations, and seeing all the hard work that has been taking place and really just knowing the outcomes, that knowing the product of my toil of getting up and working all day and making sure that my animals are healthy from birth to harvest is being able to see a family be able to get fed off of that product and be nutritious and healthy.
So Emma, let me recap. So
Okay.
You were talking about the services that you're providing to the community. And when I talk about the community, I'm talking about the residents in a certain geographic area that have access to local food. So the services that your operation, your family's generational farm provides are food in the form of beef. It also sounds like you provide habitat for wildlife. Mm-hmm. You provide a service of fuel reduction to prevent fires. You also are providing a service where trees are grown and when need be, they're taken down and provide a fuel source for keeping our houses warm. You also provide compost so people can grow their own food, so you're recycling. Mm-hmm. What other things do you see that this operation is providing?
We also have a strong tendency to focus on water conservation and water quality. We have a lot of different dams, ditches, and creeks that have formed. We have once that 50 years ago was just a cow trail, and now we have this ditch which is 20 feet wide, and that's all due to just erosion. And so in order to protect that problem, we then use the willow limbs from trees that are already planted in our creeks, and we cut those limbs off appropriately, soak them in water, and then replant them in those ditches in order to prevent soil erosion and creating a healthier ecosystem habitat within the watersheds.
I have a small beef herd up on Sonoma Mountain on a place that I rent, and I have not treated a pneumonia in my calves in over 10 years, and I think part of the reason for that, so I haven't had to use antibiotics on those calves, and part of the reason for that is a good vaccination program, good nutrition program, and the other thing is good practices, which one of the things, it's a closed herd, so I'm not bringing animals in and out of that particular herd. So used appropriately, but I still want to be able to, if I have a sick animal, to be able to treat that animal. We can use antibiotics, doesn't mean that antibiotics are going to be in the meat or milk, and that used appropriately and withheld appropriately has shown to be very safe. It's pretty hard to make a living in beef cattle. Now our prices are better right now than they've ever been, which is kind of making things look a little better for us. But using animals to keep open space is a win-win for everyone. And that's one of the reasons I think this county is so gorgeous.
The population is growing rapidly, and we have to be able to come up with new ways and new processes in order to produce food that's going to be able to feed that large population, and I would love and strive to be able to be a part of that.